All right, so this is our semester one assessment portfolio. We're going to do this in lieu of kind of a traditional semester exam like we would normally do. For a number of different reasons, I decided this portfolio is going to be a better way for you to really work on reviewing the material and also reflecting on what you've learned. So this is on your Canvas under modules right after Unit 4. We're going to go to this main page, kind of has everything on there and it has links to all of the assignments. So I'm going to just kind of go over the purpose of it. I'll talk about the components in the calendar, and then we'll get specifically into what one of these portfolio units looks like. So this is going to be your work for the next 2 weeks. And again, as with everything, the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. So I'm just going to read through this beginning part. Over the next 2 weeks, you will have the opportunity to demonstrate your understanding and reflect upon your learning from this first semester in pre-calculus. Remember, the purpose of pre-calculus is to help to prepare you for success in calculus. So you need to take ownership of your learning and use this as an opportunity to thoughtfully reflect on your current mastery of the content and readiness for calculus in the future. You will be completing the following items as part of your portfolio. You will have class time to complete some of it, and then the rest needs to be completed independently. As always, please reach out for help if you need it or are unsure of the expectations. Given the end of the semester, it's going to be very important to adhere to deadlines and not get behind. So the components, there's the first 3 parts, all very similar to each other. There's one for Unit 1, Unit 2, and then Unit 3 and 4 are combined. There's another part that we're going to do in class on Friday, and it's going to be a group assessment that you're going to work on. We're going to work on it, part of it all together as a whole group, and then you're going to work in small groups in a breakout room. And then there's one last part that's a reflection that you're going to write up for the whole semester. These are the due dates for each of those parts, and the idea with the due dates is to try and pace it out so that you're not waiting until the last minute to submit everything. So please adhere to those deadlines as best you can. If you're not able to meet the deadline for some reason, please email me and let me know what's going on and when you plan to submit it. I really don't want you to get behind and be waiting to do everything at the last minute. Each of these components is going to be worth 20 points for a total of 100 points, and this is going to count for the weighting in your grade is 15% of your semester grade. So you have an opportunity to really improve your semester grade if you do well on this portfolio, and everybody who puts in some effort for this should be able to do well on the portfolio. This is kind of the calendar for the next 2 weeks. So today we're kind of going over the overview. On Wednesday, you're going to do a short opener, and then you're going to have the rest of the time, probably an hour, to work on this, and you should be able to get your Unit 1 part complete during that hour. On Friday, you're going to do the group assessment. On Monday, next Monday, you'll have that as work time, and then also the following Wednesday, the 16th, you have kind of like your final exam period is from 10:30 to 12, and you'll have that whole time to work as well. If you're planning to retake any of your assessments, you're going to do that during that time as well. So if you're retaking assessments, you're going to need to work on this more independently. You're not going to have as much class time. Just a reminder, those retakes, also the information for them is at the bottom of the screen here, and the due date for those corrections and requests is the Sunday the 13th, so this Sunday night before the beginning of this last week of school. Let's take a look at one of these portfolios just as an example so you can see how they work. When you click on it, it's going to take you into a quiz. It's just called a quiz. It's really not a quiz. It's just what I've used to kind of format this in Canvas. It was the best option that allowed you to kind of submit multiple different things to one assignment. So it's not really a quiz. And you have unlimited attempts, so you can go back in as many times as you want. You can also click on these little tabs next to each question, and it will save the question. So when you go back into it, it will be saved whatever you did there before. Okay, so each of these unit portfolios has a kind of a number of different parts to it. The first part, which is really the main part of it, is you're going to work through some review problems, and you want to show your work completely. You should do all the problems by hand on your own without the use of any technology to help you. You may use your notes, but try to complete problems without looking at your unit circle as much as possible. So we've been using our unit circle a lot in this class because you're at home and everything's open note. But when you get to calculus, you're going to be expected to answer these questions without looking at your unit circle. So try and kind of use this as an opportunity to try your best not to look at that unit circle every time, but kind of just do it with your own brain, okay? The answer key is provided here for you to correct your work. It is not provided there for you to copy it, so please don't. Use the answer key judiciously and responsibly and use it to help you correct your work. And if you're stuck, you can kind of look at it as a hint, but I'm really not looking for a copy of my key because I have a copy already. So please do your own work there. And then when you're done, you're gonna upload a picture of your work right here. So that's worth 10 points. And then you're going to also attach one artifact from this unit. So the artifact could be an assessment, an assignment, an opener, your chapter summary, corrections to an assessment question. You're going to pick one thing that from the unit that you think reflects your work and understanding from that unit. So look back through all of your work from unit 1 and pick something that you think is a good reflection of your work and understanding. Then you're going to just describe the artifact and why you chose it. Whoops, sorry. And then you're going to give yourself a little kind of self-assessment about how you feel about the content for this unit. And then there's just a general reflection about, after you've done all the work for it, what's your feeling about your general understanding of the unit? What did you learn? What are some struggles you had? Growth in your understanding, things that you found interesting, easy, challenging, and you're focusing that on this particular unit, okay? So you're going to do one of those for each unit. And then at the end, there is a general reflection for the whole unit where you'll kind of get to reflect on the whole semester as a whole and be able to really also think about your work habits for the semester, some thoughts for next semester, and setting some goals. And that's pretty self-explanatory. You can look at that reflection when you get there. Questions?